What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be checking out some games which are coming out in December 23. It's a bit of a quieter month with the end of the year drawing closer, and there's only a couple of larger releases among some smaller ones for this month. We'll cover the release dates as well as pricing and what platforms, but this will be UK focused, so all prices are in pounds, so just bear that in mind with any currency conversions you may need to do. Remember to hit a like on the video, comment below which games you're looking forward to picking up this month, if any, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get started. Thought I'd address this one straight away the day before. It currently has its new release date of December 7th after the game was delayed back in April to November, and then in November by another month to December. There's a lot of skepticism around that. I did a trailer reaction to this and comments seem to suggest many people are waiting to see how this one turns out, with many expecting it to be a fail or to be a scam. For those that don't know, The Day Before is an open world survival MMO. To me, it's looking a bit like Division with zombies, and there will be quests, crafting, base building, as well as normal RPG and survival elements such as food, healing mechanics, weapon mods, all that kind of stuff. I'm on the cautiously optimistic side of things. I'm hoping that this game will be able to pull it off. Remember, this was the most wishlisted game on Steam, but with numerous delays, the name trademark dispute issues, and just poor PR and marketing in general. Not to mention, this is kind of the first big game that this developer's made as well, so, you know, have they bitten off more than they can chew? There's a lot here that's giving people reason to doubt it. We'll have to see how it pans out, but it is coming to Steam Early Access on December 7th, and it'll be $34.99 with the full release later being priced around $44.99. I'll be picking this one up to try it and do some content on it so we can see how it plays and runs. Who knows, it may even get another delay, although that would tank what little goodwill it has remaining, I bet. This is coming to Steam via Early Access only for now. Console releases are planned, but alongside the full release of the game sometime in the future. Okay, so we got that one out of the way. The biggest AAA release this month is from Ubisoft with Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. This is an open world action game. This is Ubisoft's bread and butter, basically. And from the early playtests and reports from a month or so ago, they've done a good job so far, it seems. So bringing that movie lore and the soundtrack and the feeling into the game. You play as one of the Na'vi in the Western Frontier. This is an area that's not been visited in the movies yet, giving you an open sandbox to explore and learn. Combat's looking pretty cool as well, and you're able to tame your own mounts and ride or fly your way across the world. What's more, you can do this entirely in co-op, which I'm hoping has shared progression and is like drop in, drop out. It's not kind of like only the host gets to keep the progression and stuff like that. Hopefully they do that right. That would be awesome if they can nail that. Coming to PC via the Ubisoft store for $59.99 for the base edition, which is included within their Ubisoft Plus subscription if you have that. It is coming to next-gen consoles as well, and it's coming out on December 7th. There is a Gold Edition, which gives you a pre-order bonus and a season pass for $94.99, and then an Ultimate Edition, which also has an Ultimate Pack and some digital collectibles and cosmetics for an eye-watering £114.99p. Whether it's worth it for the extra cosmetics, you'll have to decide for yourself on that one. Next up, we have House Flipper 2, a sequel to the very successful first entry, and this one promises to have new revamped tools and mechanics, and is set in a new town of Pinnacove with new opportunities and homes to renovate and develop. There's a sandbox mode that lets you just build houses from scratch and do them up, or the story mode that lets you focus on the cleaning and decorating aspects, giving some different play styles to mix things up at least. If you feel like putting in the work, House Flipper 2 is coming to Steam and next-gen consoles, as well as Switch on December 14th. No price has been announced yet from what I could find at the time of putting this together, but the original was quite modestly priced under a tenner, so maybe this one will be around that or £20 or so. We'll have to see. One I haven't had a chance to play yet, but Disney Dreamlight Valley will be leaving early access on December 5th alongside a new expansion, A Rift in Time. This will take players to a whole new island, kicking off Act 1 of the story and introducing new characters and bringing in multiplayer as well. This is apparently Disney's Stardew Valley, basically, from what I've heard and seen, and as a fan of those types of games, it is on my list to eventually check out. Might try and check it out over the holidays perhaps. This one was a bit controversial though, as originally you were paying for early access to the game, but upon release the game was going to be free to play, with paid expansions, microtransactions, all that kind of stuff. However, earlier in November, the developers walked this back and are maintaining a base price, which at the moment is £23.79p, and they're going to be keeping the microtransactions and the DLC charged as well. They're basically just double dipping from the sounds of it. The devs said they believe it will continue delivering on premium game experiences for all players by doing this. This made a whole lot of sense when I looked into it further and found the developers are Gameloft, who predominantly make a name for themselves from doing mobile games and microtransactions. So for the most part, I'm not too surprised by this. However, most people I know who have played this don't really have anything bad to say about it from a gameplay point of view, and it has mostly positive reviews on Steam recently and very positive overall. It must be doing something right, at least with the core game itself. That said, there are some rumblings of characters being paywalled behind the new DLC, $30 skins for characters, stuff like that. We'll have to see. This hits all platforms, including the Switch, on December 5th for $23.79 for the base game, and the DLC is rumored to cost the same as well. I don't believe the base game price is going to go up from early access. Haven't seen anything about that. Maybe it does, but it's definitely not free to play anymore. This next game is from Alcat Games, makers of the Pathfinder CRPG games. This is Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, a story-rich CRPG set in the 40k universe where your decisions matter in a changing open world, affecting the characters around you as you go through the story. For those that finished up Baldur's Gate and fancy something different, but in the same vein, this could be a good shout. Gather your crew and take on missions and objectives with turn-based combat while leveling and developing your crew and aiding them through their personal journeys. This is coming to PC via Steam, GOG, and Epic Games Store, starting from $34.99 for the base edition, and there's numerous editions in between, with a collector's edition at the very top for $299, which includes a figurine and an art book that you can get directly from the website. Maybe that's a good one for the die-hard kind of fans of the series. The release date is set for December 7th. This next one I covered in my Steam Next Fest video for October 2023. This is, of course, Pioneers of Pagonia, which is a city builder similar to Banished or the Anno series, with over 40 building types, 70 different goods, and branch production chains. I enjoyed what I played of this from the demo, and the art style was quite nice as well. It's coming to early access first of all, and no price at the moment on Steam. The early access launch starts with objectives, combat, and a map creator, as well as a trade system and some other improvements not previously in the demo or the closed beta test, and there will be future systems implemented. I like how they've got a roadmap of the future kind of features coming up, something you'd really like to see in early access games for sure. This is coming out on December 13th for Steam only at this moment in time. Following off the back of that, another title I covered in my Steam Next Fest video was Soulslinger Envoy of Death, where you play as a gunslinger stuck in limbo fighting against the undead to try and escape. This is a roguelite FPS, so I'm sure I'll be getting around to checking this one out, as it's got an intriguing mix of Wild West vibes and undead fantasy, which certainly makes it stand out on its own. My only hesitancy with this one is that Elder Games, the developer, they have mixed reviews on most of their previous games on Steam, citing to a lack of polish, clunkiness, and this fast-paced FPS roguelite will really suffer if it launches in that state. We'll have to see. It'll be launching in early access as well on December 14th, and there's no price yet. However, the demo is still available on PC via the Steam store, so you can check that out before committing to a purchase should you wish. And finally, we have Steamworld Build in the world of Steamworld Dig and Heist and all that kind of stuff. This is a new frontier where you can dig and build to keep your colony alive. The strategy city builder lets you take control of an old town to renovate it and build the mines underneath it, where you can collect the ores and resources and process them above ground with your Steambots. Another Wild West influenced game on this list, but with a bit of steampunk thrown in this time, where you have to keep your Steambots happy and protect them from the enemies that lurk in the mines. Built from the ground up for mouse and keyboard or controller, which is handy as this title is coming to PC and pretty much all consoles on December 1st for $24.99 at launch. And there's no special mentions this month. There's a couple of VR titles coming out with Arizona Sunshine 2 and Vertigo 2, as well as Baldur's Gate 3, which is meant to be coming to Xbox Series X at some point, but that release date and price won't be announced until the Game Awards on December 7th. Well, I'd give it a mention, but nothing really to go into here. Remember, that's not coming to Series S though, the first to break away from the Xbox console parity, given the technical limitations for allowing to implement co-op on the lower Xbox console. The Thaumaturge was one I was really looking forward to, but that got delayed until February 24, so that'll just about do it for this month. With that all said and done, that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments what games you're looking forward to playing this month, or if you're going to be working through some games in your backlog. I'm going to be the guinea pig and pick up the day before. Just keep an eye out on the channel for the content around that when that drops. Otherwise, I'll be working through my backlog, and I'll be trying out some new VR games, as I recently got a MetaQuest 3 headset. I've never done VR or anything like that really, so cool to finally play Beat Saber and see what all the fuss was about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, leave a comment or an emoji for the algorithm, and please consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.